Hi there, welcome back to Fee's Barbecue. Today we're doing something special. We're going to be smoking an entire sirloin roast taken from a white-tailed deer that was harvested by a good buddy of mine this past fall. So the dry brine, what that does is pull all the moisture out of the meat, and then as it reabsorbs in the fridge, it sucks all that salt back in with it. That'll save salting in the future. But we are going to be using Traeger's Black and Saskatchewan rub, which I use on a variety of cooks. It should do very well on this venison. This is the sirloin roast that I've got from that white-tailed deer. I've got it sitting on a pan on a wire rack. So what I've done is taken it and have trimmed off all of the visible silver skin that I could get without taking out too much of the meat. And I've generously applied kosher salt and I'm putting it in the fridge overnight to start the dry brining process. If you've tried to cook wild game in the past and have no luck, well, this is the episode for you. We're going to be putting the sirloin roast on the Weber kettle. We're going to be smoking at 225 to 240 degrees using Weber charcoal briquettes and a chunk of apple wood with another chunk of hickory wood. The whole cook is going to take roughly 2 or 3 hours, but tune in and we'll get it going. This right here is where the magic all begins. We're going to melt down some of this beef tallow and rub it onto our roast just before our seasoning. Today we're using Black and Saskatchewan. I love this rub from Traeger. It's big, bold, and unforgettable. So it's been about 24 hours since we've seasoned the venison roast. So let's go outside and arrange our charcoal on the kettle just how we need it. Okay, we're outside. It's about 3 degrees today. It's not too bad. We have about 8 briquettes sitting in the chimney starter right now. And I have these easy to light fire tubes. Oh my god, shut up. We're going to light these cubes up. We're going to wait for these to start to get white, and then we're going to throw them at the very start of our pile over here and let those coals start to light up. It's been about 5 minutes. Let's check and see how the coals are lighting up. Nice. Just starting to get that nice red glow. We're going to give them another 10 minutes. And then when they're done, we're going to throw them in this part of the barbecue right here. Throw our lid on and start trying to catch our temperature. My hand here is boiled water. And the reason I'm doing that is I have a water pan in here that's going to keep the venison moist as we cook. So I'm just going to pour it through the grill and add it to the water pan slowly, trying not to extinguish my fire that I've lit. That should be more than enough to keep the deer moist. Everything's looking good. Let's just get this lid closed. I'm going to adjust this temperature probe just a little bit. Got a temperature probe on the grill here to read the smoke temperature. Get our lid on. I've got the bottom vent about 1/4 of the way open, and I've got the top vent 100% of the way open. So I've got my ThermoPro plugged in, temperature's going up. When we hit that sweet spot of 225 to 240, throw the roast on and get smoking. Okay, so our smoke temperature has hit the temperature of about 235 degrees, and I've had to bump the bottom vent down just a little bit so it doesn't chase too high into the 240s. So I've pulled our roast out of the refrigerator. It's tacked up nicely. Still feels like a raw piece of meat, which is good, but it does have that dry cured feel to the surface, which that's what you want. Let's pop this lid off quick. Nice, just starting to catch onto those wood chunks I have in there. Let's throw the roast on over top of that water pan. And I forgot the thermometer. I'll be right back to go get it. Yep, I know. You're below their desired value. I understand. No need to get hostile. Okay. We've got a beer in hand. We got Bambi on the barbecue. We got that second probe put in there in the thickest part possible. Now all we got to do is sit and monitor this thing. We don't want our ambient temperature going above 250 degrees. Venison is a very lean meat and it tends to dry out really quickly and easily. So we're going to keep low and slow and just take our time. No rush here. So right now we're sitting just under 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So with wild game, that's pretty normal because there's a lack of fat within the meat. Fat tends to slow cooks down, like a big brisket, for example, tons of fat. You cook it low and slow, that fat helps keep it moderately steady throughout the cook. Where I'm cooking a roasted venison, no fat in there at all. So it gets to temperature rather quick. So you got to be able to have a keen eye of what you're looking for. If you're in a bit of a time crunch, you can always bring it in the house and tent it with tin foil and put it in the oven turned off, just enough for it to recirculate the heat and not continue cooking. Okay, so we've been smoking for just about 35 minutes now. And what I've got going on here is I've got a container of beef tallow sitting right here melting down. I'm gonna pour it on top of the roast and just give it some extra fat boost so it's got even less of a chance of drying out. Let's take a peek. That's beautiful. Take this here. That's a little warm. Pour some over top. Yeah, our alarm's gonna say, hey, your temperature is too low. And I'm just telling you that's too low. That's all right. Take that. Give her a little bit more fat. Let's get her back covered up here. Well, there you have it, folks. That's white-tailed deer on the smoker. Thanks for watching.